Chevrolet junk. The Suburban won't start. First time it's ever not started except when it's really cold. So I'm thinking maybe the PMD, pump mounted driver, call it what you want. Maybe that's gone bad. And I'll show you what it does, which is crank but not start. And then I'll throw some cold water on it. See if that helps things. Glow plugs on. Got a jug of ice cold water. Crank her up. So if the PMD has gone bad, it suffers from heat soak, and it's not that hot today, barely 20 degrees Celsius, so we'll pour some cold water on it, and if we can hit the water on the module, maybe that'll change its mind, it'll start, and then I'll put on the remote PMD that I bought when I bought this truck, but never had to install it, never had a problem. That's all the cold water I've got. May have to cool off, who knows. These electronic gizmos. Crank her up! No plugs. Click. Starter sounds alright. Do I just plug in the new one? It's kind of hard to get to that wire. It's really buried in there. I did this last on the white Suburban that I brought back from Phoenix. And the wire's in there somewhere. I gotta stick my hands in the fluid film. Somewhere. We'll figure it out. I gotta see if I have the new PMD. Plugging it in is easy. I just could plug it in over here. I just gotta get to that wiring harness. It's a little tricky. How's our water doing? Yep, dripping. Junk. So, what do I got here? Got too much junk. Aha! Here's the module that I put on the white Suburban with a jumbo heatsink. I put that on 2011. So, maybe that's the problem. We'll find out real soon. It's really hard to get to this wire. You can take it off a lot easier than you can put it on. But it's off. And snap it in and see what happens. If she fires up, it's a bad PMD. Relay's off. Well, that's not good news. Huh, wonder what happened. That's plugged in properly. This is a low mileage PMD, only used for one trip, 5,000 miles. 30 minutes later, found the problem. Melted fuse for the fuel solenoid. I also happen to have the four-wheel drive plugged into this, but we use it at the most an hour a year. Fuel solenoid. Right there. There's my four-wheel drive solenoid that I put on. It's got the one with the little electric motor, the retrofit. So I put the new PMD on and I had to plug it back into the old one. Oh, it took 15 minutes to try to line up that wire. It's in a miserable spot and the intake manifold's in the way, so you can't run a pair of needle nose down there. It's in a bad spot. I had to bungee cord the fuel line out of the way. It's right down there somewhere. Right down there. Anyways, it's really hard to get to. You can remove it. You just undo the lock and push it off, but putting it back on, you gotta locate it perfectly, and I was gripping it by the wires because you can't get the needle nose on the plug because the intake manifold runner is in the way. It is. I had a fuel line bungee corded out of the way, and now you can see it if I can get that fuel line out of the way. And manipulate the flashlight down there. Trust me, it's right there. and the intake runner is in the way. Had they just angled it slightly, but this is 25 years ago, so they don't care. They're busy designing driverless cars. So I put in a new fuse, and let's see what happens when we crank her up. Why'd the fuel solenoid fuse blow? I don't know. Fuses blow, they get hot, they get old, they melt. Crank her up! That's it. One bloody little fuse worth pennies. It's a bit mangled, but why did it fail? Who knows. Luckily I was able to figure it out. Let's see. Spare 10 amp fuse goes, who knows. Let's put it there. Alright, we fixed her up.